Maxwell gets the hold on Kevin Johnson.
Now see, Kevin Johnson's upset, but see, KJ, you get that same call. That's the same call that when you start to go, they put their hand out. So you've got to give that as a trade-off.
Kevin Johnson just picked up his 3rd personal foul.
The NBA playoffs on TNT are brought to you by Chevrolet Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. And by Dutch Boy. Give your home the lasting look of Dutch Boy.
I'm from New York, and nobody plays basketball like they do here.
It is Chicago ball. Oh, pick and fold, the Suns!
Well, I mean, they certainly don't pass like they do in New York.
Here comes Golden State. Another great pass, Johnson to Weber!
Okay, but they definitely don't jam like they do in New York.
Look out for Miami!
All right, so that's the thing about the NBA. It's great everywhere. I love this game. All right, well, let's talk about New York Bagels. Come on.
Well, the Rockets are hanging in here. They're down 7 with 6:47 to go in the 3rd quarter. And speaking of the Rockets and what they must do to get back, here are some of the bad signs as they've slumped in the playoffs.
Well, they were 6th best in the league in this figure, and they were 5th best in the league in this figure. What this number tells you is they were built on defense. Here's the disturbing number right here, a 5 rebound difference in the playoffs, and those are the things when you're not shooting well come back to get you. And the Suns have also played 2 very good offensive teams. They played Portland in the 1st round. That was a high-scoring team, and now they're playing the Phoenix Suns.
Otis Thorpe to Vernon Maxwell. Has it touched out of bounds by Kevin Johnson with 14 on the shot clock. Tonight's rebound, Phoenix out-rebounding Houston by 1, 26-25 at this point.
Again, the offensive rebounding for Houston, 27th in the league, so that's really where the differential is.
There's the penetration. This time Maxwell gets it to Olajuwon. You showed Cassell doing that in the 1st half.
You got to penetrate and break down defenses. You can't live on the edge on the outside all the time. It puts too much pressure on you to make tough shots. See if Charles is going to hold it or if he's going to go with it.
He's holding it a long time.
All right, now watch the clock going down.
Pull-up jumper.
See, when he does that, if you charted his efficiency, I guarantee it's about 1 out of 3 maximum.
Maxwell looking for the penetration, lost the handle. Robert Horry loses the ball. Ceballos, Miller, 1 touch. Marley. Marley with 10 points.
Boy, it appears the Rockets right now are just sort of teasing Rudy T. It's like they get there and then they have an unforced error. They run out. They get a chance to cut it to 3. Turnover puts it back to 7.
That was Olajuwon with a nice pass after he was double-teamed to Robert Horry, who gets the lay-in. Andy's foul will have the 3-point opportunity. And Horry, who had 3 points at the half, now has 8. And Barkley just picked up his 3rd personal.
Look at this pass, though. He's got 3 guys on him, slapping at the basketball. Oliver Miller with a big wingspan, and he finds Robert Horry. Now, Robert Horry has come to life in this quarter, slashing, cutting to the basket, being aggressive. And when the front line does that now, the Suns have to do more respect along those lines. And so what happens, it gives your guards some more opportunities. When your guards aren't playing well, you pack it in. When your big guys aren't playing well, you just now are in a quandary about where do we go.
Home.
That's basically right.
AC Green comes into the ballgame. Ceballos rests, I should say. Suns now only by 4. This is the closest Houston has been since the very early part of the ballgame.
See, they won't guard Oliver Miller out there. Hakeem will play only enough to be legal with him. But he will come and challenge Barkley if he gets inside.
Kevin Johnson with 4 on the shot clock. Oliver Miller kept it alive for KJ. The drive. AC Green is there. He is fouled. He took a hard hit, and AC pushing Kevin away from any potential trouble. They don't want a Chicago-New York breaking out.
No, they sure don't.
Olajuwon just picked up his 3rd personal. As AC Green goes to the free throw line, we're going to have an opportunity to look at the Chevrolet scoreboard in between these free throws here. First of all, Chicago gets Tony Kukoc with under a second left, actually, to hit that bucket on a tie game. The Knicks now lead it 2-1, and you heard the report at halftime about Scottie Pippen and Phil Jackson, and Doug says to me, you know, you want to coach. Geez, you win the game, you still got problems. Everybody deals with it.
It's tough. You know, that's a regrettable incident, you know, because Scotty is such a great player. And especially the fact that the team wins the game. I hope they can get that ironed out.
Vernon Maxwell. That's a three for Vernon Maxwell, who's eating up here in the second half. Maxwell has 10 points now, and this is a 3-point Phoenix lead, the closest Houston's been since midway through the first quarter.
Charles Barkley's taken 17 shots, 14 of them from the outside, 3 from the inside.
Maxwell. It is now a 1-point game. Do the Rockets have a road come from behind win in them?
I'm telling you right now, Charles Barkley is tired. I can tell the way he's running. He does not have that bounce that I've seen him. I've done 3 other games in the playoffs, and he does not have that same bounce in his step.
10 to shoot. Marley, defended by Maxwell, will just put up the three. Boy, that's an answer to what ails you.
Let me ask you a question. Is Dan Marley a great three-point shooter? And the answer is yes. Then why not get a hand up? Why not maybe make him put the ball on the floor and make a play?
The first thing I think of, and he has it out there, the first thing he thinks of is, I'm going to can this three.
You got to make him do something he doesn't want to do. How about crowding his right hand, make him put the ball on the floor, and dribble the ball with his left hand?
You should be a coach. I've always said that. Elijah with an opportunity for a three-point play here. It is now a Phoenix lead of 1. Hakeem has 18 points to go with his 10 rebounds.
Get up, safety!
11 rebounds.
See, as long as the Rockets hang around here like this, they're going to feel they can win this game because they're an explosive team. And Maxwell's starting to get that unconscious feeling, although he does miss that one.
Kevin Johnson trying to beat Kenny Smith. Goaltending. Suns back by 3.
I don't know about that.
I don't either.
That ball, KJ was going to was going to bank that basketball, and it never got to the backboard. Let's watch this. See if it gets to the backboard. Absolutely not. That's a good block. That ball was going up. That was a bad call.
68-65 Phoenix. 3:30 to go third quarter. Crowd has come alive here.
Notice the penetration by the guards.
And notice the offensive board from Hakeem Olajuwon.
Penetration, someone has to help. Oliver Miller comes over, and Hakeem has gotten 2 dunks off follow-up shots. So they're not standing in a spot shooting outside jump shots.
Paul Westphal, I'm sure, is aware of what you are, and that is that Charles Barkley is playing tired tonight. Hakeem is 4 of 4 in this quarter.
We expect such Superman efforts every time guys take the floor. We realize that they are human, and Charles still having a great game, but not the spectacular game. Most outside jump shots.
Marley on the finger roll.
That's offensive goaltending there
from Miller.
Yes.
New shot clock for Phoenix as they lead it by 1. 2:56 to go, third quarter.
And Kenny Smith has given them a nice effort in this quarter after a very quiet first half.
Good effort defensively on Kevin Johnson. 8 to shoot. Kevin beats him finally. They call the foul, and he missed the lay-in. That's 4 on Olajuwon. With 2:42 to go in the third, that's big.
Let's watch the play now. KJ loves to create contact. Let's watch his right arm. Does he get it out and create the contact? Does he throw himself in there? Boy, that's a tough play for Hakeem to pick up his 4th foul.
That's what he's saying. All right, Doug Collins, Coach Collins, clinician Collins. Let's talk here about the principle of verticality and foul calling.
Well, this is what Hakeem was upset. We're going to stop it right here and look at this. Is Hakeem going straight up? Is he straight up? Is his arm straight up?
Yes.
Does KJ's break the plane and create the contact?
Yes.
And that's what he's upset about.
Pictures worth 700-800 words.
Now, in fairness now, Eddie Rush saw that going like bang, 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 bang. We slowed it down, drew the line, cleared it, kept it going.
It's probably appropriate to point that out.
Yeah, I think that we ought to give Eddie Rush, who's one of the better officials in the NBA, the benefit on the doubt. That's a very difficult call, but what it's done now is the 4th foul. Hakeem has to sit down. Let's keep our eye on the score now with Olajuwon down. If he makes his free throw, it's 70-67. He'll probably sit for 2:42. Let's see if his team can stay in the game.
3-point Suns lead. Kevin Johnson 8 out of 8 at the free throw mark tonight. Vernon Maxwell has come alive here in the third quarter and stays alive. Vernon Maxwell is on a hot streak. You got to look out for him. 14 points in the game. He's hit 5 of his last 6.
See, they've got KJ playing him, try to use his quickness on him, but KJ's having the time. But you know what, KJ, somebody said something to him from the Houston bench. Watch KJ as he runs down the floor to see if he responds to the Houston bench. Like, yeah, okay, he got me, and I got him back.
And now they're going to try it again. You got to like this stuff. The penetration, open shot, Kenny Smith. That's a 2. This ball game is a beauty. 72-71 with under 2 minutes to go in the third quarter. Hakeem Olajuwon on the bench with 4 fouls.
See, you've got a cross match. Kenny Smith's playing KJ, and Ainge is playing Maxwell on the other end, so it's a tough matchup.
Ainge for 3. Oh, my. He can come in, give you a couple of minutes. A born assassin. He's been doing that everywhere he's played.
You know, he's come back with a thigh pad on, too. He must have got kicked in the thigh. Here comes Vernon.
Mad Max has turned it up in the third quarter.
There's the cross match.
Marley runs out on the play, misses the lay-in.
That's the cross match because they're not playing each other on the other end of the floor, and Maxwell couldn't get back to him.
Maxwell on the drive again, and it rolls again. Maxwell has 18 points. 15 this quarter.
See, he can't get back to Marley, though, so they're having trouble in the cross matches. Marley's missed a 3 and a layup.
Kevin Johnson as Barkley got the rebound under a minute to go. Kevin doesn't get it to fall. It is tied at 75.
Get it to Maxwell.
Kenny Smith, and that's the first Houston lead since they led 9-8 in the first quarter.
See if they go 2 for 1 here. Barkley screen roll with KJ. Let's see if Barkley can get the outside jump shot. They slide under the screen. Don't leave Barkley.
Thorpe didn't. 8 to play. Kevin Johnson on the penetration.
No shot blocking. See, Herrera's in the game. If that were Olajuwon, you got somebody back there swatting that shot away.
Tied at 77. Kevin Johnson, 22 points, 10 this quarter.
See, Maxwell's tired now. He has really expended some energy here in this quarter.
It's been a shootout with Maxwell and Kevin Johnson.
You know, I like to see guys get going because he's really struggled. Here he goes once again. But here's the cross match again. Marley running out. Let's see if he gets a 3.
Kenny Smith backed off. It's out of there, but we've got a foul.
It's going to be a technical on Ori, I think.
Look out, Maxwell and AC Green.
Now see, Maxwell has got to be smart. He's playing well. It's a tie game. They're on the verge of elimination. You got to get away from that. You got to get away.
That's what Robert Horry was probably saying. You don't want to... Two things about AC Green. One is he's kind of a man of peace. The second is if he becomes a man who's not peaceful, you're in a lot of trouble.
Well, and also, too, AC Green is a very rough player. I mean, you know, don't mistake his religious beliefs for he's going to be Casper Milquetoast out on the floor or anything like that. I mean, the guy's going to bang you, bump you. He's going to compete. But let's see what happens. You're in, Sam.
Horry has the elbow on AC.
Right. Got him. And then here comes
double technical.
Maxwell into it, and then they sort of give each other a little bit of a shove. I think the smart thing is, though, Rudy T, understanding the volatile nature of a Maxwell, brings him over and sits him down to try to calm him down a little bit.
Well, they don't call him Mad Max for nothing.
This shot, I don't know how it stays out of the basket. It's in and out and back in and back out. And there's the play underneath the basket, and then Ainge gets pushed, and then there's Maxwell coming into it. And that's where you got to channel all that energy. Maxwell had such a great third quarter. Don't blow it by doing something silly. Remember, Cassell was suspended for Game 1 for throwing a punch at Jerome Kersey in Game 4 of the Portland series.
All right, here's the situation. Loose ball foul called an AC Green. Then a double technical on Maxwell and Green after the exchange. So that's the officiating situation. Barkley is going to get a rest now with 4.1 seconds remaining in this quarter. Rockets up by 1.
Well, after the start of this game tonight at 29-15, there's no way in the world that I thought the Rockets would be up 2 with 4 seconds to go in the third quarter, but they have hung tough.
There'll be some time here for a shot.
Yeah, which team?
Yeah, I didn't say who. Robert Horry got the shot off. I knew there'd be time for a shot. Scoring in the third quarter, Houston 38, Phoenix 28, and the Rockets have taken a 2-point lead, and Mad Max got 15 in the third.
Playoff time.
A lone drives a 2-game lead into Denver. It's gun check time in Mile High Country. Yeah, Nuggets Sunday at 9 on TNT.
The beautiful America West Arena in downtown Phoenix, Arizona. The Rockets, yes, the Rockets, lead it by 2 going into the final 12 with a big 38 points, and the Rockets getting better every quarter offensively.
Yeah, and also their field goal shooting up to 48% after 36% in the first half. And when the Rockets shoot the ball well, they're 25-6 when they shoot 50% or more from the field.
Maxwell's at it again. Maxwell with 15 third-quarter points immediately with 2 here, and it is a 4-point Houston Rockets lead.
Barkley 2 points in the third quarter, 1 for 3, all on jump shots.
Kevin Johnson getting inside for the basket, and Kevin has 24.
See what's happening now. As long as the Rockets can play like this, Rudy can buy time and energy with Olajuwon having 4 fouls. There's no need to rush him back out. He'll be stronger for the finish.
The offensive follow is missed by Horry, run down by Marley. A chance for Phoenix to tie, and the foul on Horry out beyond the arc. Ronnie Nunn and Kevin Johnson and Hugh Hollins getting their communications down as you look at Hakeem on the bench. Robert Horry picks up the personal, his third. That's first team foul.
I say 1 or 2 more possessions maximum, you're going to see Olajuwon back into the ball game.
Thorpe on Barkley, one-on-one. Back to Barkley from KJ. There's the double. That leaves Kevin Johnson for the jumper. Count the basket and a foul on Houston. Ronnie Nunn stepped in for the call. Kevin Johnson has 12 of the Suns' last 15 points. He's stepping in here for the Charles Barkley slump.
You notice AC Green is in the middle of everything of all this. Another loose ball foul of which he's involved. And
look
here
at
comes
this.
Olajuwon. 1 more possession. You see AC Green and Herrera underneath the basket. They're locked up. Now, who do you call that foul on? I mean, who is creating the contact on that?
Well, they call it on Herrera, who sits down as Olajuwon comes in, but your point is well taken. And AC Green, who made some big free throws and played very big, but also missed a couple of very significant free throws in the fourth quarter of the historical fourth quarter Phoenix comeback 2 nights ago.
You know, one of the things that we didn't get a chance to talk much about the other night, but I was looking through the stats. You know that going into that game the other night that Houston was 54-1 with 2 minutes to go in the game when they were leading. That's the second time all year they've lost a game like that.
And that one they led by 10 with 2:40 to go. Maxwell's drive, he's fouled. Hakeem Olajuwon was out 3:45, and while Hakeem was on the bench, Houston outscored Phoenix by 2. So Rudy T's got to like the way his team hung in there with his star sitting down.
And he got some rest. When we talked about in game 2, he played 51 of the 53 minutes and just was out of gas coming into the finish. Now, Bob, you know what's happened in this game tonight? And I could never. Vernon Maxwell has great quickness. He can handle the ball. He can get it to the basket. I don't know why more often when he's struggling with his shooting that he doesn't look to do what he's done tonight, and that's to drive the ball to the basket. He's been very aggressive. He's not falling in love with that long-range bomb.
He told me just before the ball game that he didn't know why he wasn't being more aggressive himself. And speaking of that, here comes Maxwell. Barkley is there, but Charles decides not to commit the foul. He's carrying 3. And by the way, Kevin Johnson has 4 personal fouls on him for Phoenix. It is a Rockets 2-point lead with 10:22 to go. Maxwell, 23-20 this half.
We talked about the guards needing to pick up the slack, and they have done a good job of that. And also, too, KJ, all jump shots. They're not letting him penetrate and get into the lane.
Can Houston come back from the dead? That's certainly how the Houston press had portrayed this team. The headline in the paper after the loss #2 said Choke City. Cassell misses. Thorpe with the offensive board.
Offensive rebounding.
9:51 to go in the game. Cassell with a penetration. The dish. Elijah Wan, a three-point opportunity.
See, that penetration will just kill you. Now you've got Cassell and Maxwell both driving it to the basket, and either Thorpe, Ori, or Elijah Wan the recipient. And right now the Suns on their heels defensively, and the Rockets showing a lot of character.
Houston by 4 with 9:45 remaining. Dutch boy in the paint. Hakeem Olajuwon coming alive, but he's carrying 4 fouls since the first quarter. And it's all even at 33 apiece, rebounding. Doug, I love the way you show this play here, the subtleties of coaching and playing in the league.
All right, watch this. Where's Marley's eyes? All right, he thinks that this screen is coming this way, right? Wrong. Boom, here he goes. This guy has to step up now. And watch what happens. Look, just enough. And he gets a little bump, and here comes AC Green and Olajuwon. It's the subtleties of the game. You play off people's eyes and where they're looking, and you go the opposite way. You just cut against people's vision.
One of my favorite basketball books. The essence of the game is deception.
Absolutely, and that's what the game is. It doesn't always go to the fastest man, but the guy who can set his man up to where your defender is always playing on his heels. Larry Bird was the best ever at doing that.
Hakeem misses the free throw, but the Rockets lead by 4.
Now they're going to have to withstand a furious pace now because Phoenix has got to enliven this. Now the question is, will Barkley hold the ball or will he go quickly?
All right, he's holding.
Got an illegal defense on Olajuwon.
Wouldn't come out far enough on Green.
Well, he had dropped back to where he was in a soft double team on Barkley, but he was not going. He was one zone removed, so the next one will be a technical foul.
Charles Barkley only 1 for 3 from the floor this half.
So here he went quickly, and watch what'll happen. Oh, he missed that one. But he went quickly and he got inside.
Rockets by 4, 9:14 to go in the ball game. Maxwell, beautiful crossover, out of bounds. Houston ball 16 on the clock. Nice crossover dribble by Bernard Maxwell.
Quick. I don't know why.
Great talent.
He's just been a guy who's fired outside shots. He has so much talent to get inside. Let's see if they can get the ball to Olajuwon on the move. See if they screen down and bring him to the top.
Cassell kicks it to Ellie with 4 on the clock. Mario Ellie, big bucket on the runner in the paint, and Ellie has 6.
Interesting lineup. Cassell, Ellie, Maxwell on the perimeter with your 2 starting horses on the front line, Olajuwon and Thorpe.
Houston's biggest lead, a lead of 6. They had trailed by 14 in the first half. Inside the Age, he's fouled by Maxwell. That'll be 4. 4 fouls on Maxwell. Kevin Johnson carrying 4, as is Hakeem Olajuwon. Charles Barkley has 3 fouls. Danny Ainge to the free throw line, where particularly in the clutch, he knocks him down as a matter of routine. Is that the kiss of death, the way I said?
But you know what? I loved him the other day in game 1. He said, there you go. But he said in game 1, he said, you know what? There's no one I'd rather have on the line the other day than me.
I like that. It goes with Charles, who said, Charles told me he envied me as a play-by-play announcer because I got a chance to watch Charles. He says, you're the only guy with a better job than me because you get to see me.
Let's see if the Suns show some trapping defenses. Right now, Houston is in a nice rhythm. Let's see if maybe they do something to try to get them out of the rhythm of their half-court offense.
Rockets by 5 with 8.5 to go in the game. Hakeem at the dotted line, bumps AC off and turns around and drops it down from 8.
Spacing on the floor was beautiful that time by the Rockets, and Olajuwon just a bump to get the space to shoot the shot.
24 points for Hakeem Olajuwon. Barkley only 1 of 4 from the floor this half. Ainge with 8. Green, that's a 2. Rebound Marley.
Long shots, long rebounds. Got to get your guards back to get those.
Phoenix has their bombers in. Everybody out by the arc except Kevin Johnson. He penetrates and draws the foul.
That is a awful feeling. It's like guarding or chasing a wide receiver in the open field and having a quarterback stand there to pick you apart. You're isolated. You got KJ, and he's looking at you and you say, am I going to beat you right or I'm going to beat you left? This time he beat you going left.
Kevin Johnson, 26 points, 12 assists. 8 for 9 from the free throw line as Ceballos comes in for Danny Ainge. A quick nostalgia thing. Who was the toughest guard for you to defend in your playing days? In terms of that kind of quickness.
Tiny Archibald. That's when you got the Archibald flu. You know, you missed that game when you had to play him.
I got a groin. You took a groin.
Oh, he was unbelievable for a little guy. One year he led the league in scoring and assists at about 5'11" and about 160 pounds.
Rockets by 9.
That's what happens when you get layups. Now you think everything's going to go for you. Now this Rocket team is alive, almost like what we saw the other night when Phoenix was making their move.
Maxwell has 23 points this half. The Houston Rockets, unbelievably, are leading by 9, and almost more so, Phoenix has scored only 84 points. Houston led by 2 coming into this fourth quarter. Now they lead it by 9, and the fourth quarter has proven to be a big story in this series.
Well, this has been the anatomy of fourth quarter. You see the Suns 28 to 14.5 average, rebounding plus 9.5 offensive rebounds, almost 8 in the quarter, and you see they're 26 to 8 in game 2 is what they outscored them. Maxwell 10 for 14 in the second half after going 1 for 5 in the first.
There you see Houston outscoring Phoenix 14-7 in the fourth quarter. Barkley finds Ceballos. Look at the defense. Thorpe was down there. Elijah was there. That'll be 5 on Elijah.
Wow, this is a big, big swing right here. Now you're Rudy T. You got a 9-point lead, 7:24.
What do?
You've got to get him out.
Yep, that's what Rudy did. He just fingered Robert Horry, who's going to come into the ball game.
The thing I like about what he's doing, he's coming in with Robert Horry rather than Herrera. Yeah. And you say why? He's a better offensive player, and they're going to need to be able to score right now. And if you look at the Suns lineup, they don't have a big man. They've gone 3 forwards and 2 guards, Green, Barkley, and Ceballos. So Horry and Thorpe can play along the front line with Ellie so they don't get hurt with size. This is where the Suns' lack of a big man to really go to might be able to help the Rockets be able to withstand this 5th foul on Hakeem.
Well, Houston, I know the fans watching back in Texas are saying, will we be Buffaloed again?
Well, you know, for Houston's sake, you say if we lose this game tonight, we want to do it with the fact that Phoenix makes great plays, that we just don't go into a situation where we go stone cold like we did the other night and become tentative.
Cassell from 17, Sam Cassell, big-time player. Cassell only 7 points in this ball game. Rockets by 9.
Keep our eye now on the fouls, 2 team fouls. We've got KJ again shooting jump shots. This one he buries. But it's going to be very important for the Rockets not to get over the limit so quickly that they can't defend KJ as he isolates or Barkley and you put him on the line.
Phoenix would love to get into a full-court shootout. Thorpe answers for Houston. 6:45 to go.
I can't tell you how impressed I am with the Houston Rockets tonight, getting down 29 to 15 in the first quarter. All that's happened in the first 2 games, and to battle back. A lot of character. This is not a choke team, I'll tell you that right now.
With 6:33 to go, the Suns are leading it. The Phoenix Suns are trailing it by 9, 97-88. Hakeem Olajuwon with his 24 points, his 14 rebounds, his 5 assists, his 4 blocks. One other statistic, 5 fouls.
Well, now what you'd like to do, can you get to the 4-minute mark or the 3.5-minute mark with a little bit of a lead before you have to come back with Hakeem? And again, Charles Barkley was at 1 for 4 in this half. A lot of dribbling and a lot of passing. Not much action going to the hoop.
Kevin Johnson, tough shot off the glass. Doesn't get it. Barkley misses the tip in. Maxwell has it 1-on-3.
Boy, if the Rockets score here, they go up 11. This is a big possession psychologically.
Thorpe, hard to stop him there. They do. Ceballos, rebound. Kevin Johnson takes Cassell down deep.
See, KJ is strong and he's got long arms. They list him at 6'1", but you look at his arms, he got the arms of a guy about 6'4" or 6'5". There's at 31 points for KJ. He averaged 5 more points a game at home than he does on the road during the regular season.
Elijah Wan is up. He'll be back in the game in a moment. Ori from the corner.
That's why I like Ori in the game. The other night they went with Herrera. Ori, you've got to play. You've got to guard him.
I sense a shootout coming here. So do the fans. Kevin Johnson sees the slightest crease. The penetration, hands it off. The foul against Houston. And Kevin Johnson has done so much. 19 points in the second half. Plus, he's creating the plays. And there's no question. You pointed it out early in this game as Hakeem wants to get back in here. There's no question that Charles Barkley has played tired in this game.
I felt it in the first quarter.
Yes.
Even when he was scoring, he wasn't lively. They were the flat-footed jump shots. How many times have you seen him on the offensive boards tonight? Now, he has 12 rebounds, but in the first half, he had no offensive rebounds. He had 6 defensive rebounds, so he just hasn't had that bounce in his step that he had in the first 3 games in the playoffs that I've seen him this year.
Sunday night telecast for you on TNT. The Utah Jazz at the Denver Nuggets. Gary Bender and Jack Gibbons will be there for Game 4. The Jazz lead 2-0 as it goes back to Denver. Don't count the Nuggets out.
No, and is there anybody playing better than Karl Malone right now?
Nobody I can think of.
I've seen him play some spectacular games, but his consistency has been sensational.
Rockets by 7, 5:11 remaining. Hakeem back in with 5 fouls. Sam Cassell, penetrate, dish, Thornton.
See, they're getting into gaps. They're getting the Suns running at them. And as a result, now they're making the extra pass on the penetration.
Marley, the penetration, and Barkley again misses, battles back, misses again, and Hakeem got a piece of it. No question, Barkley does not have lift here in the fourth quarter. Maxwell. AC Green, Rockets ball.
See, now Maxwell feels it, and that's a shot you might put in your holster and use some time right now because you're getting everything you want in the half-court offense. Don't bail the Suns out with a quick shot, but it's hard to do when you get that feeling.
Maxwell has 26 points. Rockets are leading it by 9. First quarter, they shot 21%. Since then, 61%.
We talked about getting through the playoffs and Suns. They got through last year to get to the Western Finals. It took them 11 games, 18 to get to the finals. They played 24 playoff games. They're looking at 6 right now, and that Western semi number, if they're going to advance, they'd like to keep that as low as possible because of Barkley getting some rest.
Houston inbounds, new shot clock under their own hoop, 4:41 to go in the game, leading by 9.
See, if they score here now, you go up 11. This is a big basket right now. It makes it a 5-possession game.
Marley bumps Cassell off the ball. Hakeem comes up with it with 10 on the clock. Barkley kept it alive. Nice play by Charles. Phoenix on the run. Kevin Johnson dishes, but he's fouled first.
Hakeem did not know there were 11 seconds still on the clock. He shot that one too quickly because he thought the clock was winding down on him.
Houston's in the penalty. The Suns have committed only 2 team fouls with 4:21 to go in the ball game. This will prove to be significant.
See, look at that shot. When you see it, there was still 10 seconds on the shot clock when that ball hit the rim. So Hakeem just sort of lost the sight of how much time was left, but you know, you can't blame him because the ball was rolling all over the floor.
Kevin Johnson, 10 of 11 from the free throw line. 32 points in this game for KJ. It is a 7-point Rockets lead, and remember, Houston is in the penalty.
Very good call. Now, how do you guard KJ and how do you guard Barkley without fouling them? Composure time right now.
Phoenix in a frenzy. The rookie, Sam Cassell, at the point. Hakeem, the double team, open man, Ellie, stolen, Barkley. It's still alive. Jump ball, Maxwell and Barkley. Ronnie Nunn right on top of the play. It looked like it had gone out of bounds, and Ronnie Nunn very quickly signaled, that is a live ball. They'll jump it at center court.
Great effort by Barkley. He reads the passing lane, and then he and Ellie go for the ball. I like it, the fact there was no call there. Both players going for the basketball. jump ball now between Maxwell and Charles Barkley. You see Charles looking up and say, hey, I want a timeout, but a little bit too late there, Charles. This is a great look, isn't it?
From the blimp.
Now to the ghosts of the last 2 games past start entering the Rockets' mind right now as Phoenix starts to make their move.
Maxwell tried to steal the tip. They're going to jump it again. Hugh Hollins.
See, now when you learn to play with a jump ball, and these players don't, if I'm Mario Elie, I cut right in front of Marley and go back to KJ because Barkley's trying to tip this ball back with his left hand to KJ. I try to flash right through there and read it. See?
It'd have been there.
But guys don't grow up with jump balls because they took it out of college. It's alternating possession.
They ought to put it back.
See, now you can't foul. This is where KJ becomes a nightmare.
And Charles. Here's Thornton. Olajuwon just had to stand there. Barkley missed another inside shot. That's a travel on Ainge. Oh! Look out for a technical. Watch it.
I thought he was going to call a loose ball foul on Otis Thorpe there. And looked like Otis tried to pull him down. Could be a real crucial play because Ainge is an excellent free throw shooter.
Rockets by 7, 3:34. Don't go anywhere. Elie denied the paint, and then he takes it right back in there.
Oh, what a big turn. Now, Elie, that's a taunting foul. It should give him a technical. Should give him a technical. He got in Ainge's face and said something. It looked like Hugh Hollins was going to call a technical.
Houston stepping away from it as Ronnie Nunn and Hollins discuss it. The foul is on Danny Ainge.
Boy, Mario Elie is lucky here. Now watch what happens and watch him go at Ainge right there. He goes right back at him. You see Scotty Brooks is happy. And right here, look at him go up at him. That's what you got to take out of the game right there. And see, Hugh Hollins walks over, and he looks like he's going to tee him up, and at the last minute, he walks away from it.
Elie misses. Ainge with a rebound. Danny Ainge, not a happy camper at the moment. Backcourt foul, and Ainge will shoot. That's on the rookie, Sam Cassell.
That's why you can't get in the penalty.
The Bulls won some championships getting on the penalty in the fourth quarter.
And you got a guy like Michael Jordan who shoots 85%. You try to guard him in the last 2 minutes. Here's Cassell trying to prevent KJ from getting the basketball, and he just grabs him. There's 3:22 to go. Make the Suns make shots to beat you.
Now remember, Phoenix was down 10 at Houston with a little more than 2.5 to go and won the game.
Now you got to keep your eye here on Charles Barkley. He's got that little maneuver in the lane. He probably won't use it on Olajuwon, but he's helped win 2 games with big offensive rebounds and stickbacks off missed free throws.
Kevin Johnson has 21 points in the last 12 minutes. 35 in the game, 12 assists. Maxwell, 3!
Now see, those shots didn't go the other night. When they were double teaming Hakeem, they were missing those shots. You think Maxwell's important to this team?
29 points, 26 in this half. AC Green wanted the foul, got the basket, and it's a triple. He wanted to draw the 6th foul on Olajuwon, didn't, but still nailed the long-range jumper.
How did
7
Olajuwon
points.
keep from fouling him, Bob? It looked like he was going to run right into him.
Athletic ability.
It looked like he stopped in midair and came down. I don't know how he did that. How about the shot from AC Green? If it doesn't, watch Hakeem now. Look at this. It looks like he's dead. Then it's like
he has air brakes.
He like puts on the brakes.
It's air brakes.
That is amazing.
I've only seen those on 757s. 106-99. Rockets by 7. I'll tell you, this is some series. 2:42 to go. Rockets by 7 coming up right after this game inside the NBA. Fred Hickman and Mike Glenn. Highlights from tonight's action. Plus that Chicago-New York game, too, of course. The Lakers' new coach, Del Harris. And in case you missed it, right after tonight's game.
Again, the sensational play. It's a great shot by AC Green. But look at Olajuwon. I thought he was gone. I thought he was going to run right into him. He put the flaps down. And then AC Green, I don't know how he made the shot. It's a 7-point game. But let's talk right now about the Rockets bench. Cassell and Ellie, 15 points and 16 assists. So Rudy T has gone to the bench, and those two guys have given him a great lift. Will it be enough to get a win tonight? Still plenty of time on the clock.
10 on the clock, 2:28 to go in the game. Looking for Olajuwon against Green. Now 5. Cassell, big bucket. That's a 3.
How about Sam Cassell? I love him. I really do. I just, the kid will take the shot.
Kevin Johnson answers with a triple. It's a shootout in Arizona. Rockets by 7. 2:05 remaining.
How about 4 straight threes? We've got 4 straight threes right now.
2 minutes.
Ellie with the penetration. Maxwell.
How about 5?
5 threes in a row. I've never seen it.
Rudy says, where was this the other night when I was dying a slow death? You can't foul. Now watch Ainge. You can't leave him. Who's guarding Danny Ainge?
Nobody. He's over in the corner as Marley loses the handle. That's a big bucket. Maxwell's all alone to the basket.
And that's the game right there.
With 1:34 to go, the Rockets have taken a 12-point lead, and Maxwell, Marley finally misses a 3. Ainge with a follow. He misses it. Kicks it out here to Kevin Johnson on the penetration. Marley. He misses the 3.
That's the
and
game.
This one is going to go in the books for the Rockets. Who would have picked the Houston Rockets, who were just devastated by losing the 20-point lead in Game 2, to come into Phoenix, a team who had won 7 regular season games, 5 consecutive games in the playoff, in their own building, where they have one of the best records in the NBA, and now the Rockets by 14 with under a minute, and Houston is going to pull to 2 games to 1. They'll play Game 4 on Sunday.
You know what? I talked about Charles Barkley. I thought being tired. 1 for 8 in the second half.
Absolutely. It's been the difference in the game.
You know, Bob, you know who I'd like to be able to get on as our post-game as a little change? Rudy Tomjanovich. I wish we could get him over here and just let him talk to us about what this means to him tonight as the coach. I'm sure we probably can. But I just think what he did with his team tonight is unbelievable, because this team was dead in the water. Now the Suns can't make one.
This game is going to wind down to a whimper for Phoenix. Olajuwon putting the cherry on the Sunday. 118 to 102.
Ainge just tried to rifle the ball in, and Ellie is mad. I wonder if he did Ainge do that on purpose? He just fired the ball in the back of Ellie's head.
Yeah, Ellie is dizzy over on the sideline as Ronnie Nunn steps in there.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy.
Ellie very wisely walked away.
Now watch Ellie, number 7. He's going to turn, and look at this. Boom, he hits him right in the face. Look at this. Oh my goodness.
It looks intentional. We cannot read the mind of Danny Ainge, but there was the Houston celebration. Ainge says to Ellie, I didn't intend to do it. Ellie didn't buy it. The Rockets, however, buy a win. 118 to 102. Houston outscores Phoenix 77-53 in the second half, including a 39-25 fourth quarter. And we have to say this, Vernon Maxwell came up so big in the second half. Vernon Maxwell is going to come over here and join us on the sideline. Our Budweiser player of the game. Look at this. In the first half, 3 points, 1 for 3. Second half, 31, 13 of 19. And on behalf of Vernon Maxwell, we'll donate $1,000 from Budweiser to the United Negro College Fund. Vernon Maxwell, Mad Max, I talked to you right before the game when we get your microphone situated here and asked you what you were going to do following your disappointments down in Houston, and you said you were going to do anything it took but primarily penetrate. Give me your feeling of what happened with you personally in this game.
Well, the first half I was a little down because my shot wasn't falling for me, and the guys got onto me in the locker room and told me I need to be more aggressive on offense, and I just went out and tried to just make KJ play a little bit more defense than normal, and it worked out fine for me.
How about your coach? We were talking about Rudy Tomjanovich. You're down 2 games. You give up the 18-point lead, the 20-point lead. What kind of conversation took place between you and the coach and the players themselves between Game 2 and Game 3?
Well, we tried to get those 2 games out of our heads, and I felt like we had a meeting, and when we got to Phoenix, and it was positive, and the guys got their confidence back, and we just went out and we just free stroke it, and we wanted to go out and just make them go over our defense and cut down their breaks and their 3-point shots, and we did a pretty good job of it and came with a big win.
Now, was that a players-only meeting?
No, it was coaches and players, guys in the organization. A lot of people counted us out, and we still feel confident that we can come out and play.
Your hometown newspapers?
Well, them too, but, we did it as a team, all year long, and we can't worry about and be concerned about what they talk about us and the way they talk about us in Houston. We just have to go out and play.
Vernon, I thought the real key in the second half was you utilized your quickness and your speed, and you got to the basket and you got some layups. You didn't just float around on the perimeter and live and die with your 3. My question is, it seems like you can do more of that. Is it something that you resist doing, or is it within the scheme of things? Or
at the half, I told Kenny Smith and Sam Cassell to kick the ball up to me on the wing and let me try to ISO KJ a little bit early in the offense, and they did a good job of finding me off on the break, and not just breaking them down and getting in the lane and making things happen.
Can you talk to us a little bit about what the contributions of Mario Elie and Sam Cassell off the bench for you guys tonight?
Well, definitely, there was a plus off the bench. We haven't been getting real good scoring off the bench, and those guys came in, and they were key roles to our success tonight. Mario came in, did a great defensive job for us, got on the boards, and hit a big 3 down the stretch for us. And Sam just came in and controlled the team, and the way Rudy wanted him to, and we just came with a real big win.
Vernon, I'm happy for you, and I tell you why, because I know it's when you struggle how much it eats you up, and I know during this kind of time. And I'm happy that you could break loose, because it's no fun when your shot's not going in.
Definitely it's not. Your confidence down, people are all over you, down on you or whatever. And, my wife and my kids, I talked to them before the game, and they were real positive for me. And my son told me to go out and have a real good game. Thank you, LeVernon Jr. And I just went out and just concentrated and played well tonight.
We have to go, but I want to ask you about your hand as we go away. I've talked to you before every ball game, and we looked at it beforehand. How is it, and what's the story with it?
It's hot.
It's real sore, but I have to play through it. It's a crucial time for us right now of the year, and we had to come up with a real big win out here, and we did it. And we're looking forward to Sunday now.
Vernon Maxwell, congratulations, our Budweiser Player of the Game.
Thanks a lot.
Houston comes in here and shocks the Phoenix Suns, 118-102. Suns lead it 2-1. Game 4 is Sunday. Let's go directly now to Ernie Johnson in Atlanta.
All right, thank you, Bob. You talk about a couple of teams responding to big-time postseason pressure. The Rockets and the Bulls, had they lost tonight, would both be down 3-0. As it turns out, they're both right back in their series. All the highlights coming your way on Inside the NBA with Fred Hickman and Mike Glenn next on TNT. In Game 1 of our doubleheader tonight, Chicago a winner 104-102 over the Knicks. There was a fight in that game. The Knicks were down 19 after 3, rallied to tie. Tony Kukoc hit the game winner with Scottie Pippen on the bench after Pippen and Phil Jackson had exchanged words in the huddle with 1.8 to go. They'll get into that whole story on Inside the NBA next on TNT. We're back at you on Sunday night, Game 4 of the Utah-Denver series from McNichols, 9 o'clock in the East, the time of the tip here on TNT. You saw Houston 118-102. They narrow the gap to 2-1 in that Western Conference semifinal series. We'll take you back to Bob and Doug right after this.
The NBA playoffs on TNT are brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood aged for a crisp, clean, classic taste. By Ford and your Ford dealer. Have you driven a Ford lately? And by Armor All.
These two teams with the best home records, both of them in the Western Conference in the NBA. Neither is won at home. Phoenix loses here to Houston, 118-102. A quick game summary, Doug Collins.
Well, Vernon Maxwell was sensational in the second half, and then Cassell and Elie off the bench with his 20 points and 18 assists. So that's 56 points they give them. More importantly, a tremendous lift. KJ was excellent, but Charles Barkley and Dan Marley, 3 for 18 field goals in the second half. Barkley 1 for 8, and he just didn't have a ton. He didn't have that energy, and it was really costly because they need him to dominate around the lane.
Well, that's the final, 118-102, and it's 2-1 here. Coming up Sunday night, the Jazz and Nuggets back at Denver at 9 Eastern Time. And next on TNT, Inside the NBA with Fred Hickman and Mike Glenn. For Doug Collins, this is Bob Neal saying good night from Phoenix, Arizona.